Hello and welcome to Couch 44. My name is David and I'm here at the Nigerian Association of South Australia's Cultural Day Party. This is all about culture and its uniqueness and appreciating it, which is pretty in theme with this week's Roundtable Talk, which is all about young migrants and their experience immigrating to Australia. Also stay tuned if you like dumplings and the Oz Asia Festival, as we'll be there exploring things tonight. We're going to have a lot of street interviews, band interviews, and some street performances. So stay tuned and have fun. We'll see you soon.
Everybody's into different things. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Woo. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Woo.
Well, I mean, thank you all for joining me here today. Like, it's been a minute since we've hung out. Like, you usually like to catch up with friends a lot more frequent, but sometimes, our life gets us. And all the requirements of a young immigrant, things that we have to do, it's not fun all the time, but we do it. So did you move down to Adelaide with your family?
Yeah, so I moved here in 2007. I was 2.5.
Wow.
Yeah, so I'm pretty much born and brought up Adelaide. So yeah, and it's gonna be 18 years next month, or next 2 months, yeah.
But that's sick though. Like, I think, has anyone else been here longer than 18 years? No?
No, I came just after you did, actually, 2008.
Oh, really?
So 7, we got 8, we got 9, anyone 9?
Yeah.
No? Damn. 10?
I'll take the gold medal.
You take
18
the
years.
First place, second place, the competition. Yeah. You're more in tune with the... So what does it feel like being the OG immigrant amongst immigrants?
Oh, wow. That's pretty loaded. I mean, yeah, so I just sort of, when I came here, I just sort of automatically rolled in. Because I was so young, I just...
You grew up in the system?
I grew up, and I didn't feel different from the other kids I went to school with. Because if you take someone and if they come here at when they're 10, 15, I mean even 20, they do feel like, oh, I have to adapt to Australian culture. I have to increase my English. I have to follow their norms. But because I was such a young hatchling and I just sort of learned how to be
that was
Australian.
The first thing, one of the first few things you were kind of introduced to.
I mean, one of my first memories is here. So, I mean, sometimes I don't feel like an immigrant.
Of course, and I'm sure, regardless, I'm sure everyone here could probably... When did you move here?
Oh, 9 months back.
And how long have you been here for?
2 years.
2 years?
2 years, yeah.
And when you moved down, what was the purpose of your move?
Studies.
Studies?
Yeah.
Yours was studies as well?
Yeah.
So what do you study?
So I'm studying Masters in Communication.
Right, nice.
Yeah, and I'm almost thinking of going in the career of public relations.
What's the experience been like in the job industry for you when you moved?
It's been okay. I feel like I haven't had so much trouble when I go to job interviews and things like that. But yeah, things where they just see the resume or the cover letter and they look at the name. Yeah, I don't get as many callbacks from things like that.
Yeah.
Whereas when I actually introduce myself and talk to people, I'm more likely to get something.
You moved here when you were 9. Do you still have a lot of memories of back home?
Yes, but probably not ones that people would associate with Colombia.
Okay.
They probably, like, a lot of people come up to me and they're like, oh, it must have been so tough for you growing up in Colombia. And I'm like,
You suffered.
no. No, because
I'm with you.
yeah, exactly. But no, because I was a kid, so I was very, what's the word, oblivious to those kinds of things. I didn't know about the economy. I didn't know about this, that, the other. So to me, my home country, Colombia, was actually always a very nice, beautiful place, and it's always had like a sweet spot in my heart.
Yeah.
And yeah, I haven't really faced any bad like trauma from Colombia, so
Well, I don't.
yeah.
Me personally, I was expecting you to have good memories. You know,
Yeah,
like I have
exactly.
good memories of my country. I got
Yeah.
here and people were like, "Why were you eating bugs for 10 years?"
What?
I said, "I don't think I've ever eaten a bug before."
Yeah.
It's like, but I've seen the documentaries and the cocoa farmers. Oh,
God bless the soul.
God bless their soul. What the fuck are you talking about? I don't know any cocoa. Oh man. In terms of like coming here,
Yeah.
do you feel like you've been accepted into the community as a whole? Like, or do you ever still feel like you're different from the community?
So when I came to Australia, I went to I grew up in East Adelaide,
Right,
and that's a pretty like Italian community. So I grew up in a subculture of that environment,
Right.
and you know I felt very welcomed. Like I felt like, of course, there's normal Australian kids as well, but like there was like a sense of community, unity. You know, everyone knows each other, so I felt like I was really accepted in that environment.
That's a good thing. to
Yeah,
hear,
and
you
I
know?
think which has sort of instilled me with some confidence
Yeah.
to go out. So I haven't felt different like at all.
That's amazing. Do you feel like you've ever still experienced, even with like being of a whiter complexion, in terms of in the community, felt alienated?
Yes, definitely. Mostly due to my accent, because it never really changed. It never developed into an Australian accent. I remember when I used to work in hospitality, people would just come up to me and instead of asking for a drink, they'd be like, so where are you from? And I'd be like, like, I'm not gonna get to know you. You're not someone that I'm ever gonna talk to again. Why are you asking me this?
I don't think anybody can tell where I'm from.
Really?
Yeah.
You have people guess?
I have people guess all the time. No, I've never experienced that. And I've been really lucky to never experience that.
Yeah.
And I guess my only issue that I've had with the way that people view me is that they always assume I'm just not from wherever I am. Like when I'm in Greece, nobody ever like approaches me and speaks in Greek. So
Right.
it's not even like an Australian issue. It's
Did you
just
grow
like
up
a general.
in Greece?
Yeah, yeah.
How old were you when you left?
I was 10.
10.
when I
Okay, so you
left,
were
yeah.
pretty grown to some
Yeah,
degree.
I mean,
you know?
I've always just viewed myself as Greek.
Yeah,
That was
exactly.
and I think like moving here and the kind of attitudes that I had to face in the first little while when I was still, I think it was my age as well. Like I look back on it and I'm like, I was really young. I was trying to figure myself out, and it just happened at the same time that people were wanting me to figure myself out faster than I could.
Yeah.
And yeah, so
That's a
I
good
just
way
kind
to
of
put it.
I got to a stage where I was just like, I don't even want to fit in. I don't want you to view me as Australian
Yeah.
because I know what I am, and I don't need it to be an issue anymore.
Slay.
But
Yeah.
it took a while to get there.
With you didn't go through high school here. I think all three of you went to high school here, but both of you didn't go to high school here. What's that been like in terms of straight into the university scene, and you're obviously a grown-up person from India, now coming to a different country, as opposed to a young person who's kind of into the system somewhat?
So I literally imagined that, okay, I'm going on a university in Australia, I'll be having more white friends. But it was hard because people know each other from past bachelors or
Yeah,
maybe,
yeah.
high school and everything. And I was like, okay, I want to talk to them, but it was quite awkward for me to get involved in it. And I thought that I'll be enjoying the whole foreign vibe over here, but I am somewhat not enjoying it.
What do you
I
think?
haven't faced discrimination yet in unis, but obviously at my workplace I have, like, even the accent which I have, it's not at all the foreign accent, it's the proper Indian accent.
That's what
with it's like, even if I speak numbers, it's quite different, and I have heard people, laughing at the back.
Mate,
Yeah, so it's like, okay, I'll accept it. I am who I am. I talk the way I talk.
In terms of coming from Nigeria and now studying here, how's your studying experience been, do you feel?
The way we were brought up in Nigeria, we were taught in English. The thing is, my confidence, because I know that I don't have the language barrier, and I'll just say the confidence. So when I walk up to the lecturers, when I want something to be done, I let them know, because they know I know much. I know what I'm doing, so there's no oppression.
Yeah.
So when I let them know that this is what I want, this is what we're taught, and then the respect is there because of the confidence.
The
so that's for the
lecturers have
lecturers.
respect. Has there been enough people around or enough support, even from the government, to have the community sustainable? Like, there's a community setting that's actually existing. Like, is there an association?
Yeah. There's an NASA, which is like the Nigerian Association.
NASA. I thought you were about to go to space.
Yeah.
So there are many Facebook, groups in Facebook, names at Indians in Adelaide, and you get, like, literally, if you have any issues, you can just post it, and there will be 10 to 15 people there to help you.
Really?
And that's
Yeah. I
really
love
nice.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
Actually, even if you want a job and you're not getting it, you just type that your experience, what you're doing, and there would be many people saying that, contact me, I'll give you a job. So
That's
it's really
lovely.
nice.
What's the Greek community doing?
For me, the Greek community here was one of the biggest letdowns of moving here. It kind of feels like there's nothing that I can really relate to in a lot of the people that I've spoken to. And they've been here for so long, and it's like third, fourth, whatever generation, where the connection is just completely lost.
Has there been a community that's helped at all?
I was really lucky that my family had a longer history with Australia, that I had some second cousins here. I did have some family that were really lovely and very helpful, and allowed us to stay with them before my parents were able to find jobs.
What's it been like for the Colombian community with
Oh,
you?
I have no idea. So I'll start off by saying we're not religious, but we ended up going to a church because they said, it's like such a beautiful community. You get to talk to people, meet people. People help out immigrants who have just moved over. They donate and just help out, looking for jobs for them and things like that. So we went to this really beautiful church. It was mostly Australian and Filipino community.
I see.
And
Shout out Filipinos.
Yeah, and we actually became really good friends with these people, and that was kind of the community that helped us a lot at the start. And I still have a few friends from back in that day. So.
And this has been so easy to surround myself with you guys. You're all beautiful people, lovely to talk to. So thank you guys. It's one of those busy days, But it's been great seeing you all.
Thank you for having us.
No, of course.
Thank you, man.
Nice chatting.
Thanks for joining us. I'm here with Tia, Sam, and Jakin from Wake and Fright. How are we?
Yeah, good.
Good.
Very good.
Keen to play.
Very excited to play.
We would like to know how you guys made your start as Wake and Fright.
Well, I met Jakin at uni, and I guess we kind of started making music together almost immediately.
Straight out the gate,
Yeah.
we met and we were jamming, and then a global pandemic hit and we had more time to jam. So it was a lot of that sort of in the furnace there, stewing on
cauldron
it.
that was the pandemic. Met Tia through a creative writing course, but then also became aware of you through the scene playing in a band called Irie as well.
As Wake and Fright, what is your favourite part of making music together and playing together as a band?
The arranging is pretty
Yeah.
fun. We spend a lot of time practicing. We practice at Sam and I's house at the moment, and Yeah, we're arranging some new songs.
It's really interesting. That's the way I feel like you get to hear everyone's perspective and what they bring, because everyone's kind of coming at it from a slightly different angle, obviously on their own instruments, but just philosophically with music, you know. In a live context is being able to hear everyone do something together that's separate but together.
Yeah, like songwriting, because like I write the songs and then bring it to the rest of the band. Songwriting is like a relatively solitary pursuit, at least in that style.
Now I've got some rapid fires to throw your way. Dream venue.
Do you want to go that?
Royal Albert Hall would be pretty great.
That's a good one.
Yeah,
I was going to go smaller and say the Forum.
Forum's
But
good.
I like the Budokan as well. If we were going back to Japan, that's fun.
Yeah. I played this. I didn't play. I visited when I was in Glasgow a St. Luke's Ballroom, and it was a really cool spot. So that's the one for me. I would like to play that one.
A nice range of locations and countries, of course. Yeah. Dream collaboration. If you had to, as Wake and Fright, collaborate with a solo, another band.
That is a good question. I think a lot of collaborations I think of are like more producer based than like songwriting collabs or like features, because sometimes I think features that you think would be really good together are actually like not as good as just the person on their own. But like John Parrish, who produced the latest Aldous Harding record, and I think also the latest Andy Savage record, and a bunch of PJ Harvey stuff. Great producer, would love to work with him. Also Jonathan Rado and Andrew Sarlo, who did the Big Thief records.
With what have you currently been working on? Is there anything you'd like to share that you've worked on?
Yeah, well, we have an album coming out in 2025 called The Modern Shoe is Ruining the Foot, which we recorded a year ago. 2023.
Yeah, September.
September.
Which, very excited for people to hear. We recorded it all live. And we're working on recording some new songs soon as well. But I feel like we're always kind of making new stuff, practicing, and whether that's just adding new songs to the live set or for a future release.
And one thing you guys are about to do is perform a currently unreleased song called There's a New Place on the Market. Could you please tell us a little bit more about it?
First track from that album, from that unreleased album. It's the opener.
The opener track.
So it sets the tone. So hopefully you get an idea of the tone.
Yeah.
With some of the Bob Dylan twang to it.
Yeah, a lot of this album is like, what if you turned the amps off for songs that you like and force them to make other decisions. But it's about real estate, both in the real way and in the fake way, I would say.
Yeah.
I think that's a good way to put it, and we are so excited to see you perform in a moment. And thank you so much for chatting with me.
No,
Thanks
thanks
for
for having me.
Thanks for having
It's a real
us.
pleasure.
No worries.
What's up, guys? This is David with Couch 44. We're back for season 3 at the Oz Asia Festival. Let's see what's going on. How would you describe this night to someone who's never been here before?
Oh, it's just a beautiful night. Couldn't ask for better weather tonight, really.
There's lots of creative designs and lots of different food to try.
We're from Newcastle, yeah. After work today, just hopped on the motorbike, come down, and just had no idea this was on. And
Yeah, it was really cool.
Do they have something like this down in Newcastle?
or Sydney, maybe Vivid in Sydney, but I think that this was arguably better than Vivid.
Heard it here first. This is better than Vivid. Suck it, Sydney.
We're a line dance troupe. Basically, we're just two people inside a costume that operates and look like a lion. Do a little bit of acrobatics and that sort of stuff as well. Do it for years, so now we can take a few seconds to a minute or two. We'll decide what we do last minute, and then we'll just go, yep, let's just crank with that.
Can I? Come. No, you, right there. You. How long did it take you to prepare?
I don't prepare, I just run around, go crazy. Whoever looks more vulnerable to annoy, then I just go to them.
So how long have you been this tall? Dumplings. They're known to bring good luck. Can you tell us a time when you had luck?
Meeting you.
The Moon Lantern is about letting go of something in the past and looking towards the future. Is there anything that you've let go of in the past, and is there anything you're looking towards?
Just in career and personal life, just working towards, new things.
What about yourself?
Leaving the education department to try something new. So currently in security. I just like the idea of trying something new and getting out there, meeting new people.
We need happiness in our life. There's too much drama, too much fighting in the world, and we need peace and love and joy. Don't forget the dancing.
I hope you had a great time going around the Oz Asia Festival with us tonight. I had a blast and hope you guys enjoyed watching it, and we're looking forward to seeing you at the next one. Have a great night. This is David with Couch 44, signing off. If you could bring back something from history that is not as popular or doesn't really exist in regular common society currently as it used to in the past, what would it be?
I like the old camera styles, when they tuck under the
vintage cameras.
They're pretty cool.
It would be cool if we were being recorded on one of those, right? Yeah. As opposed to these.
I want flip phones.
Flip phones? And why?
I think that, as much as I love my social media, I'm very guilty of it. I spend so much time on social media and my phone, and I feel like when we had flip phones, I had one for a year when I was a teenager. And I think we spent more time with our friends or outdoors. We spend 3-4 hours on the phone sometimes, and we could probably get coffee in person. And you could bedazzle a flip phone.
You can bedazzle a flip. What is the most random core memory you feel like you can very vividly remember?
I would say Halloween, probably 2015, I want to say.
We were just chilling in my room one day and then hear flapping from the window. We were like, wait, what is that? We get up and there's just a bird in my room and it starts flying around the room.
Me and my dad decorated this big tree that we have out front of our yard, and we had little piñatas hanging down, and kids could either pull it and it would either drop water bombs on them or drop lollies on them, and kids cried, kids laughed. It was really entertaining. I would say that is a very cool memory.
And I'm screaming under the covers and he's like, did you, he was lifting the covers.
I had to use it as a cover, above me, and then I was trying to get it out. I don't know, it's just quite funny to me.
Where's the bird now?
I don't know, hopefully living life still.
Living a good life.
Breaking into more houses?
Probably.
What's your core memory? Do you have
My core memory? Ooh. I feel like you have to hold
let's
this
do it.
now.
Okay.
So you can ask me.
What is a crazy core memory that you remember from any point of your lifetime?
When I was a kid, maybe I was around 5, I used to live in these apartment complexes, and I saw the petrol station next door get robbed. Yeah. With a bus with armed robbers pulled up in there.
You saw this with your own eyes?
I saw it live, yeah. I actually even saw one of their ringleaders escape with a bag of cash. It was crazy, yeah.
Did you ask for some?
I wish my parents let me go downstairs. Maybe I'd be a bit richer today, but that's my core memory.
Love it. 10 out of 10. Thank you for sharing.
Thank you very much for the interview. That's the first time I've been interviewed, so it's a bit of a switch up.
There's a new place on the market. It's hiding in the city sprawl. The got to hide. I only wanna know you well. Whisper it to me. I promise I will never tell. What have you got to hide? I only wanna know you good. Tell me the truth. Don't you think you should? There's a new place on the market. The old tenant was quite the dutch. You ask me how would I know? Oh well, I used to live there
Thanks for tuning in, guys. My name is David. I'm your host with Couch 44. Tune in next week for our final episode, where we'll be exploring a bit of everything, whatever that means. We'll see you then. Have a great day.